Hello everybody, welcome back to Easy Weeknight Cooking with Heart's Desire Spice Blends. And tonight we're going to be doing something extra special. I've been working on this recipe, seems like forever. Tonight what we're doing is glazed pear. Why don't we go ahead and get cooking, and I will tell you exactly what's going on right here. We're going to start off with 2 pears. And you can scale this as you like. 1/4 to 1/3 cup water, 1/4 cup sugar, 1/2 cup cream, 1/8 teaspoon of pumpkin spice plus some for dusting, and of course, vanilla ice cream to go next to it when you're done. Yum. So start off, what we have here is looking really good. We have some pear softening right here. What we're going to do is we're going to start off by making a simple syrup, which is nothing but water and sugar, because these pears that you normally get from the store are usually hard as a rock. So it looks like I am just about done back here, so I'm going to turn off the heat and let that take care of things while we turn on the heat right here and I show you how it's done. So we're going to start off with between 1/4 and 1/3 cup water, enough to cover the bottom of your pan. And then we're going to put our sugar right in the middle. Now this is very important, or else you're going to get sugar crystals developing on the outside of your pan. You don't want that, trust me. You want this to be nice and smooth and wonderful. So we're going to let this heat up until you see all sorts of bubbling happening, just like over here. We need this to start not only simmering, but even boiling. Let the sugar dissolve into our water as it heats up. And we're going to kind of help it along a little bit, but not much. You can stir it up a little bit in the middle. You're gonna see a few white bubbles starting over here. Now, while we're waiting for that, it's time to prepare our pears. Now, you notice I've kept the stem on, and that is a wonderful little handle and so beautiful to work with. So I'm going to try to slice this so I get some of that stem on both sides of the pear. Whether that works or not kind of depends on the ripeness of your pears. So this is a very ripe pear. Generally, you want to take out the seeds. Now, if you don't have a melon baller, a 1/4 teaspoon measure does the trick. So go ahead, scoop this in, and just scoop out that seed pocket. We're doing 2 pears here tonight. Oop, there we go. And I'm going to stir this up just a little bit more. And the next thing you're going to do is cut off the very bottom where that flower end is, because those flowers get really tough. They're hard to eat. Now that we have everything dissolved here, we've got a lot of white bubbles going on in this pan. I'm going to give it a quick shake. Now put these pears face down in this simple syrup. I like all of their little bottoms facing each other. You can do whatever you like that way, because the center of the pan is going to have the most heat. You want the most fleshy part of these pears to get done the fastest. The best way to do that, put those near the heat. Next thing you're going to do is you're going to put a lid on it. And you're going to turn down this heat so that the bubbles get smaller and smaller, but you want an even amount of bubbling all the way through this pan. While we take care of this pan, which has been doing this for about 10 to 15 minutes, and these guys are beautifully tender. So what we're going to do now is we're going to bring this back up to heat, and we're actually going to bring that heat pretty high. And my simmer over here is getting a little bit robust, so I need to turn that down. We want small bubbles. We don't want a whole lot of activity there, but we want even activity with small bubbles. Here, we're going to want larger bubbles, and you do not want to take your eyes off of it when it gets to this point, because we're going to be looking for that sugar to caramelize. It's going to end up turning almost a coffee brown. Not quite. It's somewhere between milk chocolate and coffee. When it does that, then you got to act quick, because it can go from milk chocolate to burn in 2.5 seconds. So don't keep your eyes off of it. What else are you going to need for this recipe? You're going to need about 1/2 cup of cream. And this is going to go in after this wonderful sugar has gone to really beautiful brown. And I don't know if you can see this, but it's gotten very sticky here and it's starting to turn color already. Now what we're doing here, we're also sauteing the bottom of the pear and bringing in some really great browning so that other side of the pear is so beautiful. I'm going to show you not only how you plate these for gorgeousness, but if you put a little bit of vanilla ice cream next to these when they are ready, oh my word, it does magical things to this stuff. Seriously magical things. You want to start moving this around a bit because oftentimes one side of the burner is a little warmer than the other. You're going to have uneven browning across your pan. So you can go ahead, yep, there it is. I've got browning starting over here and it's creeping this way. So turning your pan and moving these in a circular motion is huge. We are smelling so different now. You can smell that caramelization happening and this color is getting beautifully rich. It needs a little bit more. And then we put in the cream. This is why you don't take your eyes off of it, people. So it is time to take that off heat and pour in the cream. Do you hear that sizzle? Oh, you have all sorts of goodness happening right there. All sorts of goodness. Now, give it a stir, move these guys around. Oh, wow. That caramel is wonderful. Just wonderful. Got to move these pears around a little bit. Would you look at that? Woo-wee. Look at that. That flipped over and it gave you a sneak peek of the other side. Make sure all of your syrup is dissolved into your cream or else you're going to get a burnt mess on the bottom. As you can see here, not all of it wants to dissolve, but it is time to bring it back over to heat. Now that it has cooled significantly, we don't have any more bubbling here, but it does need to get a little darker. So I'm going to turn this back up to a low simmer until I can get everything else dissolved. So now that they are free from the bottom of my pan, I can start moving the entire pan back and forth and watch how this stuff kind of develops. We definitely want this developing nicely instead of burning. Turn this up a little bit. I've got a little bit too low. Would you look at that? We've got some good bubbling here and it is starting to reduce a little bit more. It is starting to look like a traditional caramel. Oh, yum. Don't forget to kind of move the handle around as well in order to get an even heat across the pan, and turn that baby off because this is where it's at. I'm gonna move this guy over here because this side is a little cooler. Now it's time for your 1 teaspoon of pumpkin spice right in that caramel. Now normally you would put these pears off to the side on a rack while you stir in all of your spices into the caramel, but we're not going to do that tonight because those spices being on those pears is not going to detract a bit. And we don't need to do much else with this. We really don't. Let's see if I can pick this up without destroying it. There we go. There we go. There we are. Now what you're going to do is you can pour this caramel straight back into that container that you got cream out of. So give yourself a little bit of a drizzle. Would you look at that? Seriously? Wow. And give yourself a dusting of that pumpkin spice. Absolutely fantastic caramelized pears. And I've been having some of this all week long. It is fantastic. So from our kitchen to yours, it's a fantastic dessert that you're not going to want to miss. Pumpkin spiced caramelized pears. Yum. So you guys keep things tasty. I will see you next week.